Cheers to the best witch of the West. To all of them. I'm going to get a little wicked in this episode, and welcome back to Spill the Yoni Tea. I am Angielena, your feminine embodiment coach, your spiritual practitioner, and your no bullshit miner. And today we are not doing surface level Instagram fucking quotes. We're not doing soft girl versus alpha male nonsense delulu bullshit. We are talking about why love feels like a battlefield instead of a sanctuary. We're going to bring a little bit of Pat Benatar, but y'all remember that song. Because right now, relationships out here feel less like the Notebook and feel more like the Fight Club with fucking better outfits and makeup. And not getting it twisted. This isn't about blaming men. This isn't about blaming women. This is calling out the dysfunction we fucking normalized. Gen X knows this energy and we know it well. We grew up watching Waiting to Exhale, women holding it down, holding the pain, holding everything in, and at the same time watching men movies like Emotional Ghosts. We were raised in survival, not in sacred union. So now we got to be grown adults performing strength, avoiding vulnerability, calling detachment standards, calling control leadership, and wondering why nobody feels safe to fucking love anymore. So yeah, damn right, we are going there today. Masculine, feminine power, pain, healing, and what it really takes to create divine union. Not just a relationship, but inside your goddamn fucking self, boo. Now let's get into it. Don't mind me, I'm just getting over a nasty sinus infection. How did we get so fucking off balance? Gen X, let's be real. We grew up in a fucking weird time. We watched old school roles collapse. We saw divorce explode. We watched emotional absent fathers, over-functioning mothers. We fucking raised ourselves. We became the generation that learned independence before intimacy. And a lot of men were taught, don't cry, don't feel, be useful, produce, perform. Shut it down. And a lot of women were taught, be nice, be desirable. How are you going to attract a man in your life? Don't be too much. Don't be too needy. Carry everyone, surviving everything. Yo, that's not fucking balance. That's trauma adaptation. So now we have grown adults walking around calling trauma responses personality. And the saddest thing is we make fucking excuses by creating these labels that we're actually living in and just chopping everything up to a fucking label and not actually regulating and do the work that we need to do. Come on, people. The hypermasculine woman who never rests. I have atoned for that my whole life. Usually survival, because we are in survival mode. The emotional, unavailable men, usually fear, shame, and suppressed vulnerability. We are not seeing essence. We're both dressed in fucking armor, ready to battle. And modern culture has glorified our fucking armor to keep us fucking separated, to keep us divided, to keep us trapped in this fucking loop. Now let's talk about the spiritual truth versus the psychological truth, because I'm about to go there, y'all. Spirituality, masculine and feminine, is not about gender. They are energetic principles. The masculine energy is direction, structure, protection, grounded action, presence, leadership. The feminine energy is about intuition, creation, emotional flow, receptivity, nurturing, sensual embodiment. Psychologically, this translates into our nervous system functioning. When your masculine energy is healthy, your mind creates safety. It sets boundaries. It makes decisions. It follows through. When feminine energy is healthy, your body feels safe enough to soften, to feel, to create, to trust. But when trauma enters the system, everything fucking flips. The feminine becomes chaotic, anxious, people pleasing, and emotional flooding. The masculine becomes controlling, detached, dominant, and avoidant. This is why relationships feel like a fucking battlefield. It is not men versus women. It's wounded nervous systems trying to fucking love one another. The most twisted plot twist ever. The modern relationship crisis. Now let's get fucking really raw about modern dating is giving love and basketball energy in the beginning, then somehow turns it into Mr. and Mrs. Smith by 6 months. And everybody's got their guard up. Everybody's got exit strategies. Nobody is fully fucking present. Women are out here like, I don't need a man. But what's underneath that is exhaustion, disappointment, doing everything alone for so damn fucking long. It took me a long time to break out of that cycle, and I ain't ashamed to admit it. I've been a very strong, independent woman my whole life. I would always say that I don't need a man to take care of me, but I want partnership. And men, I don't trust women. They're fucking naggy, they're drama, they want this and that. And underneath that is rejection, pressure, feeling like they're only valued for what they can provide. So now you got these two wounded energies. And especially because most of us, let's face it, a lot of us, probably 75% of us are divorced. So we have all that trauma from our past relationships that some of us never dealt with and just kept jumping into the next relationship, trying to fill this void with all this unregulated and emotional patterns and spiritual detox that we never actually ever did. So now you got two wounded energies trying to love each other while both are in fucking defense mode. That's fucking not love. Yo, that's strategy. And social media Lord, don't get me on the social media, because if I hear another person trying to tell a woman or man how to change to become a high standard woman or man, that is delusion and preying on a social media, on your emotions. It is preying on the thing, because all of us, we were men and women. We were created to birth lives. So we're created to birth relationships. It's a polarity. And all of us search to feel that fulfillment. And all of us crave to be loved. And I'm not gonna fucking lie and sugarcoat that. But it's these attitudes that you have to become a certain role, become the black cat, get him to be your honey. That's all superficial bullshit. You need to fix you. And I ain't gonna sugarcoat that. As a psychic, I'm telling you straight up, the world don't need any more spiritual delusion. It needs some real fucking truth. And truth is what will set you fucking free, boo. You gotta fix yourself. You gotta fix and come home to who the fuck you are. Because, baby, if you can't love yourself, then who the fuck is gonna love you? You can slap on as much fucking makeup, you can have the best body in the gym, but if you can't show up as you, as a healed version of you, and be vulnerable and raw and true, you're never gonna have truth. Because lies it's like maggots and flies. You're going to keep creating maggots and flies. Yeah, I went a little bit off on a rant there. So let's get back to what we were talking about. So you got two wounded energies trying to love each other while both are in defense mode. Honey, that really is not love. That is strategy. And now everybody is in these roles. because you got social media telling you, oh, if you want to be the black cat, or if you want to be this, or you want to create high standards, you got to be like this, you got to act like this, you got to adapt. No. The divine feminine, ladies, I'm calling you out on this. The divine feminine, who is actually just fucking avoiding accountability. And as a feminine embodiment coach who embraces the feminine, ladies, feminine energy is love. It is the heart space. And love is truthful. And love can be rough. It is just like the water. It'll be smooth. It can be chaotic. When it's got to crash through those rocks to get to where it's got to go, it's going to do it. That is feminine energy. It is soft. It is flowing. It can be hard. It is love, though. It is love. And we are all different in how we express ourselves. And the alpha male, who can't even sit with his own emotions for fucking 5 goddamn minutes. Let's be fucking honest, people here. If your presence doesn't feel safe, it doesn't matter what fucking title you want to give yourself or slap on to you. Your title don't matter. It is about both people creating a safe space, both people being the plurality for one another. And we are all different people. We have all different soul missions here, y'all. If your presence doesn't feel safe, period, your title don't matter. You can't podcast your way out of emotional immaturity or spiritual immaturity. And don't turn spirituality, because I'm seeing so many groups and practitioners turning spirituality into their narcissist, preying on people's fears and manipulation tactics. You can't post your way out of real intimacy. Real partnership is going to be fucking work. Divine union requires presence, not performance. You got to show up as you. And honey, the only way you got to show up to you is breaking those fucking layers and these labels and everything that everybody's told you how to be, and come back to you and learn who the fuck you are. The relationships outside reflects the union inside. Your inner masculine is weak. You have no boundaries, no discipline. You can't follow through. No self-protection. Your feminine can't relax. You stay in fight mode. Your inner feminine shuts down, disconnected from feeling, disconnected from your body, disconnected from desire. Then your life becomes dry survival. Healing means marrying these parts within you. Are we going to be perfect? No, never, boo. We are always going to go through something, see something, but that is about taking accountability. Your masculine says, I got us. Your feminine says, I trust us. That, my friends, is divine fucking union. That is the healing. And it is about healing one another. When you come into partnership with your soulmate or the love of your life, are you going to be the most perfect version of yourself? No, because we are never going to be perfect. We can get very close to it because we are growing and evolving, and we're aware of who we are and how to regulate ourselves when something shows up. When we go into the battles of woman versus man, now let's step away from the energy parts of this. When we talk about the actual role of the feminine, females obviously pull more feminine energy. And we want to be nurtured, and we want to lay down having to be in our masculine roles so much. And we do want a partner that can create a safe enough place. Women don't want to be the one supporting their partner in the relationship unless that is something that is agreed upon in a relationship, but majority of women don't. And when you get to my age, when you're 50, honey, you don't want to be supporting your male partner. And some men really operate out of a toxic feminism where they just want to be receiving. Okay, let's get back. Lifting each other up. Let's talk about what partnership should actually feel like. Not a power struggle, not keeping score, not who sacrifices more, but real partnership is mutual elevation. A masculine lifts the feminine by creating safety. A healthy feminine lifts the masculine by bringing warmth, intuition, and emotional truth. One gives direction, one gives depth. Together they create expansion. This is not just about the fucking old roles. It is about honoring strengths. Some women naturally lead in certain spaces. Some men naturally. The point is stop trying to fucking win and start trying to fucking understand one another. Yeah, because this is just, it is about bringing clarity and balance into the relationship. It's about having open communication. Every relationship is going to look different. Everybody's roles in the relationship are going to look different. And when we talk about women and men having their boundaries, it is good when you do the work, you learn. And every relationship I have been in has taught me my greatest lessons, how I want to show up in love, what I want from love. Every relationship, no matter how bad it might have ended or we parted ways, has been a beautiful lesson and just evolving me to see my faults and to become a better person, a better woman, a better mother, a better lover. It is teaching me what I want in a partnership and teaching me what I don't want in a partnership. It is understanding those. And I can't put blame, and I'm not going to change who I am and what I want to adapt to fit into somebody else's roles. Because then I am not showing up authentically as me. And I am not building a relationship on truth and foundation. And that is the core principle. Yes, am I going to change? Every 7 years, our bodies physically change. And how we see the life, how we feel about things is going to change. Because we are humans, we are constantly growing and evolving. But if you build a foundation on trust and communication and being your most authentic self, you can keep building on that foundation. And when things get rough or a brick gets loose, it's easy to fix that because the foundation has been structured. And honey, that is the bottom line. You don't want to get into certain type of roles or expecting okay, let me go back to this people pleasing, because a lot of women are people pleasers, and people pleasing, it is a trauma response. But a lot of people are in the acts of service. They like to give. I love to give. I love helping people. It brings me joy. But I am not going to bend who I am in those acts of service. That is the difference between people pleasing. And I had to learn that because I don't feel it isn't in my core or in my soul to be like, well, I'm not going to do that because I'm not a people pleaser. I will still keep doing things because I want to do them. But the moment that I feel that I'm forced or I'm doing it to get approval from somebody, that's when I don't do them. That becomes people pleasing. And I think we've got to get that straight, because people pleasing has gotten a bad rap when you want to do acts of service, because you are an empath and you want to give, because that is your light, that is your mission, is to help people. That is your sole purpose, but not at the expense of losing yourself. And now that is the difference. So I think it is beautiful. I loved when I was married and I'd get up in the morning and pack my ex-husband's breakfast and lunch. I loved taking care of my man that way. But the moment it was expected and I didn't feel like doing it and he got upset, yeah, I would lose my shit. And I've always been that type of person. I will give, but the moment you tell me to, then we got an issue, because don't force me to do it. I will do it because I want to do it. And I think we need to definitely get our heads wrapped around that, because if you're not being who you truly are, then you're just doing a disservice to yourself. So the point is, stop trying to win and one up the other person and start to try to understand. And it has to start at the foundation, and you're the foundation, and you need to understand who you are. Just like how I said, I would get my people pleasing with acts of services confused. And I don't get that shit confused anymore. The moment you tell me I have to do something, no, I'm going to do it because I want to. And some people don't have that quality. People who are people pleaser recoveries, they are people who love to do acts of service. So they're the type of people, if I see, like, you know how you see on those videos where there's a girl giving hand signs, and even though they're fake videos, but when I see somebody grab a kid, if I saw somebody fucking grab a kid and run down a back alley, every single thought, everything, fear, whatever notion, you best believe I'm going to be running down that fucking alley to grab that fucking kid. I wouldn't even think about what was going to happen to me, because that is my nature. That is who I am. If I see a woman getting pushed around in a mall, I don't care how big the man is. I cannot walk by. I instinctively, because I know who the fuck I am, instinctively, I will react. But if somebody put me in a fighting pit, I wouldn't do it, because that's not who I am. So it is really about understanding the core value of who you are. And I don't think that any woman, because a lot of women are givers, that is the feminine energy, is to act out of the heart and the truth and love. And love can be rough. Yo, love is not all rainbows and butterflies, because when you truly love something, you're just not going to let it wither away. You will put up a goddamn fight, and you fucking best believe it. So love can be tough. And I hate that when people say, oh, love is weak, your heart is weak. Honey, no, it ain't fucking weak. Because it takes more strength to stand in love and stand in your integrity and for what you believe in through your soul and your core than to sit and ignore. That's not love, honey. Love is strength. Love is going to tell you the truth. Love is going to be raw as shit. Love is pure. This is going to be the real, raw, closing truth. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. You can't attract divine union from a wounded identity. You just can't, honey. You're going to continue attracting superficial relationships where you're not going to feel fulfilled. If you're still choosing from abandonment wounds, from pick me, my energy, from control, from fear of being alone, you will keep recreating the same relationships, just with different bodies and different faces. Honey, that is not bad luck. That is unhealed patterns telling you to listen, to break the cycles. And listen, this isn't about becoming fucking perfect. This is about becoming self-aware, because healed love feels calm, not chaotic. It feels safe. It's not fucking confusing. It feels consistent. So ask yourself, for real, like really ask yourself, where am I operating from survival? Where am I still guarded? Where am I avoiding truth? Because the world doesn't need more fucking independent people pretending they don't need love. Let me repeat that. The world does not need more independent people pretending they don't need love. Because I say, you look at our society, when you got independent people pretending they don't need love, they ignore everything outside of their box. And they dress up self-love as being independent. It's not, honey. Self-love truly is learning to love who you are and to love the light and the soul that you've been given. And when you truly love at a soul level and love thyself, you love thy fucking neighbor. You learn to turn the other cheek. You are living in Christ consciousness. And this has nothing to do with denominations or religions, but you are living out of your heart space. And you are putting up healthy boundaries that feel safe to you, not these superficial boundaries where I don't like how they talk to me. I don't have to put up with this. They don't like who I am. They don't have to talk to me. Honey, you're going to live in that armor for a very long time. And I'm telling you, it took me a long time to take that fucking goddamn armor off. And I see you and I know you all out there. But the moment that you keep that armor on, you're missing all the beautiful opportunities life has to give, and you are not living your fullest, honey. And regardless if you find your divine counterpartner or your soulmate or your love, you're going to find love in life, not just with yourself. You are going to learn to love even the fuck ups that you do on a daily basis, honey. And even the person in front of you while driving your car stuck in traffic that you've been cursing the whole way. 5 minutes later, you're going to wish them love and success. And honey, that is real self-love, not selfishness. Because I see so many people wrap up self-love and I'm worth it in their selfishness, where they couldn't care less about other people's opinions or other people's feelings. That's not love, honey. That is living behind your armor, calling it love. So we need to stop pretending that we don't need love. It needs integrated people who know how to give it and receive it. You need to be able to give it in order to receive it, honey. You need to be able to take chances on people. And even if it don't work out, it doesn't work out. But take that as another lesson and another step that's elevating you higher to your higher self. And that's the real fucking flex, boo. If this episode hits something in you, and if you felt called out or seen or cracked open a little bit, then fucking good. That means you're waking up, boo. Nobody wants to be called out on their shit. I sure hell didn't, but I needed to. So don't just sit on this awareness. Do something with it. Follow the podcast, share this with someone else who thinks you think they might need this message. There's no good men or all women are the same. That interrupts the narrative. And if you're ready to stop performing love and actually experience it, starting with yourself, then come work with me, boo. My Return to Me program is where you rebuild your inner masculine, soften your feminine, and bring you back into alignment so you can actually feel safe and loving you again and just loving. The link is in my bio. This is Spill the Yoni Tea. And we don't just chase love here, honey. We become it. Sending you lots of love.